congratulations today on your series sweep. This is the first in Siena. You had the pitching shakeup with Dom starting on Sundays now. How happy are you with the switch up this weekend?
Yeah, I thought all three starters pitched really well. Dom was outstanding. Command of the fastball. There was life on the fastball. The cutter was in play. The slider was in play. The changeup was really good. That looked like Dom Stagliano. I think they had a couple extra days rest, kind of get him back to looking like himself, and pretty complete ball game. I thought we missed some opportunities early offensively, but we pitched and defended, and then got a chance in the last hour there to kind of break it up.
Coach, you're in your second shutout of the season. Russell Sandifer comes in, strikes out the first side he faces, and then you had Monmouth threatening, and he gets that big K to get you guys out of the inning. What can be said about his relief?
Yeah, that's probably 3 or 4 really good relief appearances in a row. Like the one he did was kind of a bad luck thing at FAU. I thought he pitched well there. He's trending to be one of our guys out of that bullpen that we can rely on.
As we move into conference play, how's the weekend rotation going to look like? Is there going to be changes throughout? Or is it like,
No,
how does it?
it looked pretty good, right? I'll leave it just the way it looked right there. So let those guys kind of settle in, hopefully, and hopefully we don't have to change the rest of the year.
Outscored the Hawks 43-4 in this series. What can be said just about the offensive dominance and how you're seeing the basketball?
Yeah, you talk about the swings, right? There were some really, really good swings in there, some good approaches, some good at-bats. But I thought one game the running game showed up, the ability to steal some bases. And then another game, the short game showed up and created some runs that way. And then the long ball showed up again late in this one by Dylan K.
Stagliano was the only starter throughout the weekend and not allow a run. Did you see a difference in his confidence out there this weekend?
A little bit. I mean, I probably saw more in just his stuff, right? So his stuff was ticked up back to normal, and I think that gave him confidence. When you're back out there and you're used to pitching a certain way, and it's not going that way, it's hard to be confident. And he went out there, and right away the fastball had life. The changeup was down in the zone, and the cutter was into one of their best hitters right away, to the Caulfield kid. Like, he got it in for the punch out, and he was off and running.
Got a one-off against Miami coming up on Tuesday. What's going to have to be done to maintain consistency and keep the win streak going?
We'll just play UCF baseball. We don't know who's going to start yet. We'll figure that out in a day or so. Continue to pitch and defend the way we are, and figure out a way to score runs.
You said before that a lot of the teams said on media days you guys have to be better on Sundays, and you've had 2 series now where you're closing out Sundays strong. How good is that to see from your team in these situations in terms of longevity?
Yeah, and like I said before, that thing it's 2-0, 3-0, and it's 4-0, and we're really not doing much offensively. And if you don't pitch the way that Stags and Sandifer did, and we don't defend that way, that thing can get hairy in a second. But we didn't. We stayed focused defensively and on the mound, and gave ourselves a chance to get to the bullpen and score some runs and open it up. I thought the last hour of that game we played pretty well.
Notice, I believe it was Antonio. He got hit on the hand. How's he doing?
Seems fine now. So everything looks. It caught a little bit of that hand guard thing. So that was nice.
You guys are +70 in your last 6 games run differential. How much confidence do you guys take into conference play coming up?
Well, I think they should, right? That's something that we talked about being capable of. It's not, you're not always going to score that amount of runs, but the versatility in it, right? So when runs are harder to score in certain games, we have other ways to score. I think that should give them the most confidence, whether that's the short game, the base running, or just standing at the plate and delivering blows like Dylan did it there in the 8th.
That's good. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Dylan, 2 for 2 today. Obviously, you had the big home run to get things rolling there in the 8th. What were you seeing from Monmouth's pitchers today?
Yeah, so saw a lot of heaters today. So every at bat, I was just trying to time up a heater and get a hold of one, really.
Yeah, and when you're in those situations where you're seeing a lot of fastballs, are you going for more like power swing approach, or are you just trying to make contact?
No, I'm just trying to stay like in the big part of the park. And my last swing of the day, I was fortunate enough to just catch it off out front. So.
You were behind the plate for Stagliano today. Were you seeing anything different that we've seen throughout the season so far?
Yeah, I thought he looked great. I mean, his changeup was the best that it's been all year, and that's his best pitch. So it was very nice seeing him with a great start, I thought.
We talked to media day about like stake a little bit. Have you had anything recently that maybe you have been sharing with the team? You guys have scored 80 runs in the last. Or?
No, still a lot of stake, I feel like.
Okay,
yeah,
just making
definitely.
sure.
Yeah.
A lot of you guys said during media day that you have to be better on Sundays. This is the second series now where you closed out strong in the final game. How important is that consistency, especially from a longevity standpoint? Staying on top of it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just like last year, like we know now how it's going to be a long year, and you really got to stay locked in and focused on Sundays. So now that we've done it twice now, early in the year, we know how to go about it, and we just need to remember that and keep going forward.
Had a strong appearance from Dom, but then Russell Sanford comes out and strikes out the first side he faces. What can be said about the communication between you guys, and how happy were you with his performance?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a really good slider and cutter that he was getting some swing and misses on, but I mean, his heater was awesome today. I mean, they were definitely late to a lot of them, so it set up different pitches, but he's got a really good heater and used it really well today.
Being one of the captains on the team, this upcoming weekend, you guys are going to BYU, first Big 12 conference matchup. What's your message to the guys?
Yeah, I mean, we know it's going to be cold. We know it's also earlier, so it's a Thursday start. So we just we know it's kind of be like a sucky environment. So we just have to like embrace the suck almost, you know. So I think that's really it.
Being a Thursday start, short turnaround from your Tuesday matchup against Miami, how important is it to stay conditioned, stay rested, especially when you have to go on the road?
Yeah, I mean, so important. I mean, sleep and making sure we're hydrated and eating, because, you know, obviously we're going to play a very hyped up game here on Tuesday, and then we leave right in the morning, and it's going to be a long flight, and it's going to be cold too. So, I mean, hydration especially and recovery is very important.
Back to the captain thing and the messages that you might tell the team. We've asked this question to a few of the other captains that we've gotten. You guys are outscoring opponents 80-10 on your current 6-game win streak. After Rich Wallace gave that message to you guys in the hotel room, did you say anything to any of the players?
I mean, we just got to keep doing exactly what we're doing after that message, but don't really focus on that, and just keep focusing on the process and winning each pitch and each inning at a time.
Okay, it's good. Appreciate it.
Good. Thank you guys.
Zags, your best performance since you've been out in 2025. What were you seeing out there? How much confidence do you have in your game today?
Yeah, I think every single time you go on the mound, you got to have inner belief, inner confidence in what you have. You know, you believe Coach Thomas has done his scouting report, and you just got to trust your pitches in the zone. And they were presenting a good matchup for me, so I just took advantage of what they were giving me. So.
It seemed like you were pitching backwards today, starting a lot of batters with off speed or breaking pitches. Was that the game plan, or just what was working today?
I think it was just what was working today. I think they might have seen a lot of fastballs from Wiley and Chris to start the weekend, so that maybe today gave me the perfect advantage to pitch backwards, and I feel like that's one of my strengths. So it just kind of lined up my strength, their weakness a little bit.
Generally, you start off a series, you pitch to end this one.
Yeah.
What did those extra days of preparation give you in terms of scouting them and coming up with pitch count?
Yeah, it definitely helped a little bit. I think it gave me a little more, days of rest, days of recovery too. So I think in total, it was a little different. It brought me back to my, younger days in college baseball, starting on the Sunday. But overall, it felt good. Able to see the team a little bit, see how they play. So used it to my advantage for sure.
Coach Wallace has told us that going forward, this will probably be the starting pitchers for the weekend. How do you feel going forward, starting on every Sunday?
Oh, I feel confident. I also feel confident in Chris and Wiley too, I think. And also whoever gets the midweek job, I think it's Siegel this week that, we always have confidence in whoever touches that mound and get the job done. And I'm fortunate enough to be the Sunday guy of this staff that it all lines up that we just all have confidence within one another.
A lot of you guys, I think yourself included, talked about being better on Sundays and closing series out before the season started. This is a second strong closeout. How important is that from a longevity standpoint, especially you got Tuesday against Miami and then short turnaround with BYU?
Yeah, it's super important. I think last year we gave a lot of Sundays away, and I think it kind of reflected on our record at the end of the year that we could have swept a bunch of teams that, we gave them a free day. And that it's nice that, we're taking control of some of the Sundays and that we're taking series early on. So it gives the team a good confidence boost.
Through 77 total pitches, and then Russell Sanford comes in relief, strikes out the first side he faces.
Yeah.
How nice is it knowing that you can go out there, give 6 innings, and then you got strong pitching and relief to back you up?
Yeah, it's super nice. It's a nice relief on the starters a little bit. Obviously we always want to go long in games, but knowing that when you hand the ball over, the next guy's gonna get the job done too. Russell was the guy today, and he threw really well, and Galvan after that too. But all guys this weekend that came out were all firing, and we all got confidence in one another.
What are the emotions going through your head, coming into this game with 7.45 ERA, and now you're the only pitcher at the starting weekend to not give up a run, so what's it feel like?
Yeah, I think, we take each outing and we take a little bit from some, and then we got to flush it. We always got another opportunity to go out there and, do better than the time before, do better than our teammates. And it's all competitiveness within each other. It's not, I'm trying to do better to see him fail. It's more, I want to do better because I want to do better because he did good. You know what I mean? So it felt nice, but my goal wasn't to shove Wilder, Chris in the face. I want to scoreless this weekend. It's my job now to go out there and do the job. So.
For the 6-game win streak, you guys have only allowed 10 runs while scoring 80 or so. You're really doing it on both sides of the ball. What is the confidence in this team looking like, and how do you feel like your development is progressing as you guys go forward?
Yeah, I think it's pretty high right now. I think obviously we took a big sucker punch in the mouth against USF, and I think now we've kind of regrouped ourselves. I think we've gotten tighter as a team, and I think you're going to see the team play well as we go on because we're just becoming a lot tighter. And I think it has a lot to do with travel, staying in a hotel, doing the little things together that it kind of blends the team together and helps you along the road. So.
As a veteran of this team, it's a long season, and you get hit like that early. What is the message, and how do you kind of keep from being repetitive with guys, but also getting effective wording across?
Yeah, I think Coach Wallace kind of summed it up for all of us. It was kind of, we didn't really have to say a lot of words. It was a matter of let's go out there and let's get the job done the next day. Obviously baseball, you're playing a lot more than you are basketball or whatever. It's football too. That you have the ability to go out there and change it, and also you're playing series too. So one game doesn't define the series. So that was a big message to us.
That's good. Thank you. Appreciate it. Congrats.